I'm Francois from Getaway Safaris, and I've been hunting in Africa all my life. Together with my partner Eric and our professional guides, we guide everyday American hunters to hunt the dozens of species that our beautiful dark continent has to offer. This is Getaway to Africa. We're here at Safari and Outdoor, South Africa's premier outdoor outfitter. I'm here with Charnay, who's our lovely assistant here. We're going to talk about hunting boots today. Obviously, when coming to Africa on a safari, hunting apparel and especially hunting boots is of cardinal importance depending on the terrain that you use. So we're going to discuss 4 different kinds of boots, and this is what we use. We go by this guide for ourselves as a professional hunter about what we wear depending on the terrain that we go to. All right, so the first one we're going to introduce, Charnay, if you could get me the Loas. All right, so this is a Loa. This is a brand that you get in the US as well. This is a very rigid boot. If you can see here, it's quite high up, above your ankle. It's very rigid. The toes are fairly stiff. And the Loas is what we prefer to use for a terrain that's very rocky. You're looking at the Eastern Cape, or you're looking at the mountainous regions, northern South Africa. These work very well when there's loose rocks, tumbling rocks, when you're climbing up something, lots of ankle support. The disadvantage of the shoe, for example, with this style boot, is when you have soft sand, like in the Kalahari or in Namibia, these boots become fairly uncomfortable after a while because there's no flex in these boots. So next we're talking about one step down, something that's a little bit more flexible. We're looking at a slip-on boot. We have the Red Bat here, which we like. It comes from Australia. Charnay, tell us a little bit more about the advantages and disadvantages of a slip-on boot like the Red Bat.
Okay, so basically, first thing of all, they are waterproof. It is a very comfortable shoe, much better than laces. It is oil-proof. Actually, they use it for firefighting, for hunting especially as well.
So the biggest advantage about this boot, it's a slip-on, slip-off boot. The disadvantage of a slip-on boot like this is it doesn't have a lot of ankle support, so your ankle can twist on the sides. If it's soft sand, these are very comfortable, very nice. And then obviously when it's a rocky terrain, this would probably not be the preferable boot for a very rocky terrain. Thank you, Charnay. Next we're looking at a softer boot like a Merrell. This is more of a sneaker type or tennis type shoe. This is something that we use a lot in very soft sand. We just got back from an elephant hunt a few days ago, and this is what we mostly use on an elephant hunt. Because you walk 10 or 15 miles a day, this is very soft, very flexible. Obviously, 0 ankle support, but in soft sand, this would be your preferable boot. Something very, very soft that is very comfortable, almost like a tennis shoe style boot. So last but not least is the Rolls Royce of hunting boots. This is what we call the Courtneys. This is a very expensive boot, and we prefer the Courtneys for various reasons. I'm going to let Charnay explain to us.
So the Courtneys are from Zimbabwe. Basically, they are handmade over 3 months. It is buffalo leather, so it is strong, durable, and it will last your lifetime. As you can see, it has a different type of sole. It is a 4x4, which is nice in the bush. The Courtneys actually have a serial number. You can go check it on the website, and you can actually see who handmade your Courtneys as well.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yes.
What we like about the Courtneys is, first of all, most of the PHs that have these will tell you that you can use this for 10 years or more. You can wear this forever. They've got a lifetime warranty in it. Obviously, if you're in the US, it's going to be hard to ship them. But at roughly $300 a pair in the US or in Africa somewhere, this is one of the best boots that money can buy for hunting. It does have a fair amount of stability on your ankle. It flexes very well. It's got a very good grip. And pound for pound, pretty much the best boot for hunting that money can buy for a hunting trip to Africa.
The Getaway series is proudly sponsored by Crown Precision Arms.
Richard, what a day.
It was a wonderful day.
We had great fun today. We hunted hard. We got on a couple of stalks today. We had a great stalk this morning on an Impala, beautiful Impala.
It all started last night. Our plan was to get out, hunt a certain area on the farm that was, I think it's about 60,000 acres we were going to hunt. And we were going to push, see if we could push through the brush, do a walk and stalk, and see if we could find, we knew there was some water buck in the area. At one point we were on the water buck, we could smell them, they were that close. And I learned something out here, I learned a lot out here, but what I learned out here in Africa is the water buck have a unique smell, kind of a musty smell, and very unique. And we were on them so good that we could smell them, but then it amazed me when the bushman, after hearing the eland, he could tell the difference in the running animals and the clicking of their hooves from 300 yards. So we changed directions and we went over and started reading the sand. And you and the bushman were looking at the sand in the tracks and decided the eland weren't mature enough to put the stalk on them. But what did the bushman give us?
Exactly.
The bush gave us a beautiful Impala.
Yeah.
So as we're looking at these eland tracks, we see an Impala that is just absolutely gorgeous.
And you can hear that echo going through the valley. How beautiful is that? You heard that thump on his chest?
Yeah, I heard him.
And that is a monster. So what a morning so far. We got off, we knew where we wanted to walk for the water buck, and we didn't see a bull yet. And we saw some cows around us and we're heading in, and we have wildebeest on this side, we have springbok on this side, everything around us just moving about still this morning. And then we heard eland crashing through the bush, probably 300 yards away. You could hear those hooves clicking. And then we turned back to look at the eland tracks, which by the way wasn't that great. There was a bunch of young ones. And then on our way to the eland track, we walk into this monster Impala that you just shot. And I said to you, hey, you got an Impala, you want another Impala? What went through your mind?
Well, you said it was a monster. And I thought, yep, I'll take it.
Well, let me tell you, let's go and find him. But I think if we get this Impala, we're going to be impressed with the size of that.
That's excellent.
Let's see what he looks like. He took off to the right from here. Look what Lerop found.
Look at them rats. Man, look at that.
That's a really good Impala, man.
Yes.
Look at the size of that. Woo!
Oh, man, look at him. That's a beaut.
Look how wide he is. Tell me about the hunt.
Well, we started off this morning, we were going after a water buck. But as we were hunting a water buck, we've seen a lot of game animal, a lot. Wildebeest, Impala, and then we spotted, or we heard
some eland. So we turned our attention to the eland because it's a little bit more sought after game animal. And as we were doing that, we went back to read the tracks, we came across another big impala, and we sat up on it. And I think we took about 180 to 200 yard shot off some sticks, and man, was it a beautiful, beautiful impala once we got it on the ground. But yeah, it was just a great hunt, just a beautiful morning in Africa as we're hunting one game animal, seeing so many different opportunities on other game animals, and then really coming across something that was just not worth passing. We had to take it, we couldn't pass it up.
You know, Africa and the land that you have here and the whole facility is amazing, but Africa itself is just a whole different game with all the different animals that are out there to hunt. And it was just a wonderful hunt, and the bush allowed us to harvest another great meal and another great trophy.
Thank you. We had great fun.
We did. Thank you.
We get asked all the time when we meet new people in the US at the trade shows about how ethical is our hunting practice, the way we do it, the way we use our trucks, the land. What is ethical? You mentioned today that you have 3 or 6 things in your life that you live by, and the hunting, the way we did this today and this week was part of you feeling great about being here in Africa.
I think back to being raised as a child, our hunting was all about harvesting a meal. Mm-hmm. But some of those meals also became beautiful trophies. And some of those trophies are on some walls. But when you look back at those trophies are memories. There's ethics to hunting. And when I hunted this week with you, you're a very ethical hunter. And what I mean by that is, we didn't just go out and blast animals to blast animals. We hunted animals on their territory and large pieces of land. So then I compare back when I hunt at home. And most of our land in the States is chopped up. 20-acre parcel. If you're lucky, you can hunt a 10-acre parcel. So many people I know want to hunt, but they can't hunt. They can hunt some state land, but the state land's overpopulated. But you come out here and you walk the bush and you spend 5 hours walking, looking for the game, and you're on their territory with all their senses. And when you do find something, if you're blessed to, you put a good ethical stalk on it. And if the opportunity presents itself, you take a good shot. We have a good dinner. I have a good trophy. We feed a lot of people in your community. And I got memories for the rest of my life.
99 out of 100 times, we see an animal, or we just walk through the bush and see an animal without the truck. We do a stalk from there on. And you mentioned this now, it's not in our favor. It's not easy. It's really hard. We do 10 stalks, of which 1 would be successful on an animal. And we do this all the time, every day, year round, when we hunt. So the ethics behind that is this is a fair chase. For us, the important word here is fair chase. We want to make sure this is a fair chase. We do not want to have a situation where we have an animal trapped and then we shoot it, or an animal in an encampment or an enclosure and then shoot it. The fair chase part for us is very important.
And this wasn't my idea. This was an idea you had as an organization, and that is, we're only going to take mature animals. Pursuing an animal and then utilizing it in the last stage of its life with a good, clean, ethical harvest is just, it's a gift that God's given us. And to be able to utilize that here in South Africa, or I'm sorry, we're in Namibia, this hunt, but to be able to utilize that here with you has just been a pleasure all week.
The Getaway series is proudly sponsored by Crown Precision Arms.
Our great morning with the Impala culminated this afternoon in a really epic hunt. Tell me about your Kudu this afternoon.
It did turn into quite the epic hunt. We went to an area where we thought we'd find some Kudu, and we spotted some off in the distance. We decided that we were going to get out and walk this area to see if we could find more. And we got out, we started walking the bush, and we walked quite a long ways before we actually got on the Kudu. As we were hunting the Kudu, they kept moving. They were grazing, but moving, walking, and we were on a ridgeline walking with them and stalking them for probably 300 or 400 yards. And we tried to set up on them probably 3 or 4 times before we actually finally got a really good setup on one. But we found the big bull on that 4th setup. And when I first got my scope on him, all I seen was horns and ears. That's it. His whole body was behind that bush, but he picked his head up enough to try to survey the landscape and see what was going on. And when he did, and his nose got up in the air, and he turned his head just enough where now I could see his head. Now I could see a little bit of his neck. And I knew that if I just put the scope on him at about 190, that I could tuck that shot right in where it needed to be. And I was confident. I was really confident in that rifle and confident in being able to take him right there. So, but the last thing I wanted was that stalk that we put on to end without bringing that Kudu home.
Oh, I need that.
I had him behind here.
I saw that.
It's like, gonna be okay. I was tired of waiting on him to move, so I just took him.
Fantastic, well done. Let's go and find your Kudu. Beautiful. Lekker, let op.
That's a good one, huh, Laram?
That's a really nice one. Really solid, very solid. Look at that. How solid this is.
Holy smokes, he is
Horns
up.
pointing forward, ivory tips.
Oh, he is a dream. This is a dream come true right now. This is a dream come true, Laram. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Francois, thank you.
Really
This is
thick.
beautiful. Oh, this is, to be able to come out here and hunt him.
You have a look at him.
Oh man, look at
Got
that.
that blue neck already.
Stalking him for 400 yards. Oh, put the bead on him, chasing him.
Beautiful.
Oh man, he is a beautiful animal. I'll be straight up honest with you on that. God's a wonderful creator, and just this is a heck of a harvest right here. That is beautiful. We worked for it, and we got the job done together. Absolutely beautiful.
We got it done.
We got it done.
We were on Kudu earlier today, a couple times. They got mad at us and they ran off. And we saw these Kudus from probably 700 yards out. They're in the Maramba, in this low-lying area. And tell me what happened.
Well, at 250 on the sticks, I couldn't pick them up in my scope. The only thing I seen was a cow, and we just didn't have a good shot, so we took that down. And you and the Bushman led us through some thick stuff around the backside of this ridge here. And I think we set up one more time and just didn't have a shot. So then we come back down and we got a little bit closer. And I think we were about 180 by the time we sealed the deal on him, put the sticks up. But at that point, he still wasn't ready to go. He was still hiding behind the bush, trying to figure out what was going on.
He was right here.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out what's going on here. While all these other Kudu were running around. turned his head just right. I could pick up the backside of his ears pretty good, and I knew I had a real good shot behind the ear. So, so I took the shot, and there he dropped. Our plan was to get out early, remember?
Yes, and
So
it worked.
6:30 we got out, hunted all day, and here we are, 6:12 at night. We had a good lunch in between, but we got a long day into hunting this kudu. This land, this landmass is just an absolute blessing. Just thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome.
I really
Thank you
enjoy
for
it.
coming out, and to many more.
Yes, to many
more hunts.
That's right.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Chasing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.